Hi guys, thank you so much for watching and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about gauging and what that means. I did mention it a little bit in my materials video, and so I just wanted to go more in depth about it so you know what I'm talking about and what that means. This is something that's really important that I wish I knew about when I was a beginner. I kind of had an idea about it, but I didn't really know as much as I do now, obviously. But so I really want to make sure you guys understand this information before you start any project. So when you start a pattern, or if you watch a YouTube video, however you start a project, it doesn't matter. They'll tell you I used an X amount of stitches with medium 4 yarn and so and so size needles, because you can use different size needles for different size yarn. You don't have to always follow what's recommended. I've done that before. When I first started, I would use smaller needles for the recommended size for medium. The tension of my projects came out really stiff, and so I learned the hard way. It's probably best to follow the recommended needle sizes. So to each their own on that. If you want to try that out for yourself, or do something else, you go ahead. You know, it's all about your own personal experience. And so, but I want to talk to you a little bit more in regards to that, but also stitches, how many stitches in a project. So with this one, I did 39 stitches, and it came out a lot smaller than I had hoped. So I wasn't happy about that. So I started another project, and unfortunately I didn't complete it because I added an extra stitch somewhere. And I tried going back to figure it out where I may have done that, but I couldn't. So I just, I'm gonna reuse this and try it again. But I also wanted to compare this with you guys first. So I added 10 more stitches. So this is 49 stitches. And as you can tell, it's longer. And to me, that I preferred this size versus the smaller size. And so, as you can tell, it is really important to pay attention to how many stitches you have, because it does alter the size of the project. So, that is really important to pay attention to. And like I said, patterns or even YouTube videos will tell you how much they say they used, and they'll even give you as well a recommendation of if you would prefer it to be bigger, you need an even amount of stitches or a odd number of stitches. For this project, you have to have an odd number amount of stitches. That's just how the project is, and I've learned the hard way that it's better to follow along with what is recommended, and how to adjust things, because I tried to do my own and it usually did not work out well. So trial and error, and you're gonna do your own trial and error, and that's totally fine. Like they say, experience is the best teacher. So you know, teach their own. So there's that. I also wanted to compare, you know, I also wanted to, oh, I forgot to mention that this is with a 4-ply cotton yarn, like I mentioned in my materials video. And they were both used by the same needles, US size 8 or 5 millimeter. Not sure if you can see that in the bottom right there. Just not wanting to focus. There we go, 5 millimeter. So they were both used with a 4-ply cotton and 5 millimeter needles, the same needles. But like I said, the amount of stitches does alter the size. This one is with a 3rd ply, and you can tell the difference. A 3rd ply yarn, and the needle size for this is a size 5. Not sure. Size 5 or a 3 3/4 millimeter size needles. Technically, if you can see right here, it is a size 3, and technically they recommend a size 6 or 4 millimeter. I used a slightly smaller needle, and that's fine. It's not changing the tension of my stitches. I'm not sure if you can tell. It's nice and smooth still. So you can use different size needles than what's recommended. Just try not to sway too far from what is recommended. Okay, and I'm actually going to attach on this video a gauge chart website because they do talk about the different size yarns and what they would recommend, how far to go, either way, either thicker or thinner size needles. They do give you an idea of how far you can go with each size yarn, because that is really, really important. And so basically gauges is just the amount of stitches that you do on a project that establishes how large the project's going to be. So that is all it is. And like I said, I wish I had known that information. I mean, I had an idea when I first started out that obviously the amount of stitches that you put is going to change your project's width and length and height. However, I didn't realize the importance of the yarn size with the size of instrument that you use, and how important that was in the tension and how smooth your project can come out. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me or leave a comment down below. I will try and address that question. I hope you guys take care, and thank you again so much for watching. Bye.